DownHome Sports, covering all the sports in Ellis County. Brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas and a bank. Located off of 287 in Midlothian, Texas. And Doe City Pizza and Burgers. For artisan burgers, pizzas, and ice cream, make sure you go where it's delicious to Doe City Pizza and Burgers, located in Red Oak, right across from the high school. All right, folks, it's that time of the week, and it's time for DownHome Sports. And guess what? Seth Sims is going to give you the rundown.
Thank you, sir. We've got a fantastic show with a ton of variety. To start us off, we've got Maypearl Softball. That's right, softball. This man loves him some softball. We've got Coach Whitney. We've got senior Haley Henson, and we've got Caitlin Fryman coming in to join us. They play on the left side of the infield. They're pretty good. They can also hit a little bit.
Well, and then we got Coach Venable coming on, and he's going to have Cadence and Amaya joining. And guess what, folks? They're headed off to the playoffs.
And then we'll follow that up with some Waxahachie track. We've got Coach Lozano, Gregory Clerkey, and Sebastian Calderon joining us. They've got a distance runner and a relay guy. You're not going to miss it.
Live Waxahachie comes in after that because guess what? They're kind of closing it for us tonight. And that's going to be Dustin Robinson, the head coach there, and what he's got those boys doing, along with Ethan Starks and Jeremiah Fultz. And guess what else we got? We got something else.
That's right. We've got highlights. We've got the Pinnacle Player of the Week. We also have a special interview with a young man from Midlothian who just signed his letter of intent to play some basketball for the Air Force. He's a dual sport athlete. He had offers for the other one as well. It's a fun conversation. You're going to want to tune in.
And then, folks, don't forget, every week you can find DownHome Sports for all your sports in Ellis County right here on www.elliscounty.com. You can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. But guess what? You don't want to do is not miss out on all the great sports knowledge that you're going to find out on this show.
So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
We see the future in her. And as she grows, bonds are bigger. Lessons are learned. We plan for her future with those we trust. So when the day comes and she's ready to soar, she'll do it knowing there's always someone there. Pinnacle Bank, not just a bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
We are welcoming in Maypearl Lady Panthers softball. We got Coach Whitney, we got Haley Henson, and we got Caitlin Fryman joining us. We appreciate y'all taking time out of your evenings. I know y'all are very busy, so we're very appreciative. Coach Whitney, we'll start with you. 7-2-1, I believe 7-3-2 on the season so far, which is pretty good. You've played some bigger teams. You've played some stiff competition. How do you feel overall the girls are handling it? Because it looks like from the record book, they're doing a pretty good job.
I think they're handling it very well. I think they wanted it. When I took over the program, we didn't really have that winning program. And, it's something I've tried to build and the girls bought into, and it's a team thing. They wanted it just as much as I do. And they understood in the district we had the last 2 years, they were going to have to play some hard teams. And if our goal is the playoffs, we're going to have to play some tough teams, win or lose. And that's kind of even what I said today is that we're going to have to play tough, close games. And we're going to have to learn how to handle those butterflies, those at-bats where, the bases are loaded and 2 outs and, all the cliches, but that's what we have to do. And we have to play those type of games.
Well, and Haley, Coach talking about these close games, and I got to come see y'all play Alvarado. I mean, y'all were down behind. And what was that feeling like for y'all just to keep urging each other on to get that next base hit, put that ball in play?
That was probably one of the most fun and exciting games I think I've played with this team. We usually don't get fired up like that and excited like that unless we're playing a super tough game where we know we have to compete and we have to finish. Because when we played games like that, usually nobody really cared if we won or lost. So,
Well, Caitlin, real quick, okay, got to ask you this. Is the left side of the infield the best side of the infield?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because if y'all don't know, we got the third baseman and shortstop. So, Caitlin, just talk about the way the program's changed, okay, and the things that you see from Coach that are inspiring you.
We've definitely grown as a program. Since Coach Whitney has been here, we've grown as a team, and we've just gone a stronger bond together.
Awesome.
Well, Coach Whitney, coming back to you, you've got two young ladies here that are having fantastic seasons, knocking the cover off the softball. So give a little talk about what these girls have meant to the program on and off the field, because I think you got two little fireballs here.
Yeah, two different personalities. I mean, like you said, Henson is a real firecracker. She'll let you know what needs to be done. And then I think of Caitlin as, walks silently, but with a big stick. I mean, she's a number 4 hitter, and Henson's the leadoff. She starts it, and then, Fryman kind of knocks her in. And, actually Fryman has switched from second to third, and she, like a team player, understood the role and stepped up to it. So, as you said, left side, best side, so maybe she understood that. But I think two great senior leaders that, again, want the program to do well. And as Fryman said, we've created a bond. We've created a program that wants to reach heights and emulate other top programs in the state. And it takes the coaching and the players to buy in for that. And I think they've done that. Showed it on the field.
Well, Haley, okay, I know you're a fireball on the field from when I saw you and the way that you reacted, but one of the things I like to know is on these bus rides, best part of high school sports, right, is bus rides, especially after a big win. Who's that person that's getting everybody up doing TikTok, got a speaker back there getting everybody do the dance party?
That's probably Haley Arterberry. She's our ace pitcher. She's definitely the one that's like, let's make a TikTok, let's do this, let's do that. In all honesty, me and Caitlin don't really talk on the bus rides. We kind of just sit there and listen to our music and just keep to ourselves.
Well, Caitlin, she just mentioned Arterberry, and how great is it to have a pitcher like that step on the rubber in the circle for y'all every night?
Oh, it's awesome. We all just know that she's going to work hard and she's going to be there for us no matter what, and we're there to back her up.
Well, Caitlin, also, too, I've seen that you've got some innings out there in the circle as well. Talk about the mental transition from playing the infield to when you toe the rubber, because you're getting both sides of it. Do you feel like that helps you knowing what your infielders are supposed to be doing? And does that kind of, when you switch, does that light come on? It's kind of a different mindset or not?
Yeah, it's different. I have to get in a different mindset. So if I make a mistake, throw a bad pitch, I just have to keep going and know that my team is there behind me to back me up.
Well, Coach, the other night I had a chance to talk to you after the game a little bit, and I love the approach. Put the ball in play, put the pressure on the other team. Can you expand on that a little bit about how this team has been able to accomplish that this year?
Yeah, we've worked very hard in the cages, and, I've come up with some out-of-the-box stuff like eye tracking and that kind of stuff that they may not have heard of, but you got to try a different approach sometimes if, the offense isn't there, and that's kind of the name of the game of softball. It's 1-0, a lot of strikeouts, and we just want to put the ball in play. And we you might hear me say a 2-strike approach, extend the at-bat, all these cues to them to talk to them and to tell them, hey, you got a job to do, put it in play. So like you saw with Alvarado, we put it in play, they throw it away, we win the game. If we're striking out, it's not fun, first of all, and we don't know what they can do defensively. So we just been working hard in the cages to get that done.
Well, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong here, okay? But was that Alvarado win not huge for your program, not just because of the comeback, but if I'm correct, that was y'all's first win over Alvarado?
We beat them in a tournament game last year.
Okay.
It was a big win. I mean, as Haley said, this team has changed and transitioned to, fireball, get emotion, and they haven't really had that. And we, like I said, winning is fun, but it takes a lot of work. But seeing Haley and Fryman and even our catcher Cameron, Arterberry throws a change, shaking, and heck yeah, and that's a great pitch. That just shows how connected they are and how they want to win for themselves and each other.
Amen.
Well, Haley, I want to ask you, as a senior this season, you're balling out, but you're playing a senior year in which you did not really get to play a junior year because of reasons everybody knows of. But how good is it to get to be out there? Is it making it more bittersweet as you're getting to get out there, compete, finish a season after going through what you went through last year?
Yeah, it's definitely it's sad, but it's also fun at the same time, because since we didn't get last year, having this year as a senior and being allowed to actually play our games and be outside and be with everybody else, it just makes it 100% better, and it's making more memories with everybody.
Well, Caitlin, are y'all taking this approach as a team? Having last year kind of go away from you, are y'all taking this approach that every pitch, every inning is so special?
I think we are. I truly believe that, because we've just grown as a team and we've gotten better just because of everything that's going on. It makes it all more worth it.
Well, Coach, one of the things that gets overlooked a little bit about this season is you got players that really the last time they had a full season, they were sophomores becoming the leaders on your teams. Talk about that and just the transition and maturity that you've seen out of your senior class.
I think the accountability, whether it's in the cages or on the field or during a game, we have a one bad inning. It's not just Henson or Fryman, it's other people saying, hey, we need to pick it up. And they understand what the role is. I kind of told them, now that we have these expectations for ourselves and each other, is that we have to keep them. We have to play Maypearl Softball the way it's supposed to be. And again, that means we go out there, we make some mistakes, we let it roll off our back, and we pick ourselves up. So that's kind of what we're thinking, our mindset.
Well, Caitlin, I'm going to ask you, going from second to third, how hot is that corner?
Oh, it's definitely it's totally different. It's a lot faster than what I'm was used to, but I actually really enjoy it.
It makes baseball players look like women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we want to bring this up right now because, and Haley, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I saw where you've committed to continue your softball career at Hardin Simmons. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And what made you make that choice?
Well, I played select softball for a long time, so being recruited and going to college for this has been something I've put a lot of thought into, and I decided I wanted to do that a couple of years ago. And so just that whole process, very different, long, but once I looked at the school and got to know the coaches and stuff like that, and I went on a tour of the school, it was, I just knew that that's where I wanted to be after I finished high school.
Awesome. Well, Coach, Maypearl, a very tight community. And when you got players that are having success like this, it feeds down to the younger kids. How great is it to have two young ladies in your program like these two that are out there being mentors? They're out there being leaders in the community and showing these young girls the way to play and what softball can bring them.
It's a huge, windfall. You got two great girls that show humility. When I first came here, Henson caught. She played shortstop. She caught one year, and now she's back at shortstop. She even started pitching this year. She didn't like it, but she did it, and she's actually pretty decent at it. And then you got Fry. I remember at Whitney, Fryman, I go, hey, we need you out in the outfield. Sure, coach. So moving from second to outfield to third, they're very humble. They'll do whatever it takes to win, pitch, whatever. And it just shows the team atmosphere. And, in fact, we had a sub today. Her daughter was watching the Alvarado game, just talking about how she was excited. And that was the best game I ever saw, and this and that. And that shows that there's enthusiasm coming up the ranks. And that's what we need for a program, is kids to be interested and see that we can compete, and it's a good program to be involved in.
Awesome. Well, Coach Whitney, kind of give us a rundown I know schedules are out there and people can look, but so we can get it out there and promote for the next couple games you got up, next couple of home games. So hopefully we can get some people out there to help cheer you guys on.
Okay, we got Madison coming up tomorrow night if the weather holds up. And then the following week on next Thursday, we have Keene. And it's going to be a late start because there's a track meet that both of these girls will be running in, possibly. So it starts around 7 or 7:30. And all these games are district games, so we start in district tomorrow. So,
Well, folks, you definitely want to get out and see these young ladies. I mean, you're talking 444 for Haley on a batting average. Caitlin's hitting 382. I mean, come on now. That's pretty awesome. But make your way out to Maypearl. I got to go see them. You need to go see them as well out there in Ellis County. Give them some support and some love. Ladies, Coach, thank y'all for coming on with us tonight.
thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. You're welcome in the Waxahachie Lady Indian soccer team. We got
Playoff bound soccer team.
that is correct. Playoff bound. We've got Coach Venable. We've got Cadence. We've got Amaya. We appreciate y'all joining us. I'm gonna let Tater take over because I think Coach Venable did something this past week.
Well, we want to in person finally tell you congratulations on reaching a milestone, which is 500 career wins. And we just wanted to tell you that in person, Coach.
Well, I appreciate it. It's one of those things you don't want to bring attention to yourself, but it is a pretty big milestone for me. And you know, that's a lot of wins, but like I tell everybody else, that means I've just been doing it a long time.
Well, what it tells us, though, Coach, is, and having been around the county for a while and everything, and some of the people that I know you, that is a lot of young people's lives that you've influenced in a very positive and blessed way.
Well, I have been blessed. I've been at some places that were not really known to be soccer hotspots, and I've had some great kids, and I've really been blessed. Boys and girls both. Did boys for a long time, and then you know, I went over to the girls' side, and now I'm here, and I don't want to. I'm here to stay. So it's been awesome, and you know, we just do what we do. It's our job, and you know, as you have people like Cadence and Amaya, it's a pretty nice job to go to every day.
I can only imagine.
And so, well, let's get down to this season. Y'all are playoff bound, and Coach Venable, start with you. We got some notes from you, some highlights to touch on, but one thing that you mentioned is that you've got kids that have a team first mentality, and it's put you guys to 17 wins on the season, 9 in district. You're in the playoffs. Elaborate a little more, talk about these two ladies, and then talk about your team as a whole to get you to the position you're in now.
You know, we kind of get tired of talking about the whole COVID year and everything, but this year's been definitely one of those years where, you know, from game to game, we just try to figure out who we had and how we're going to play them to try to be successful. We struggled a lot the first round, and we had some people out, either quarantined or actually had the COVID, and so and then I had it, and so it's kind of been a tough year in regards to that, but. These ladies are great. I mean, you know, they kept their mind right, and they said, you know, we knew that we were missing some key pieces nearly every game at the first of the season, and it seemed like it just worked out at the right time that we kind of got them back. And so for the last, you know, I guess 4 weeks or so, we've had everybody, and it's been fantastic. And their attitude, and you know, after last year not getting to go, once you clinched, you know, some of these are new girls, hadn't played before with us, and you know, the addition of Cadence coming in she's fantastic, and she's done really good things for us, goals, assists, but a leader. She's a good kid. She does what we asked for, and I couldn't be more pleased with her. Coming in as a junior, didn't really know how that was going to work out. And then Amaya, I mean, look at that face right there. Look at that smile. You can't hardly hey, like I said, she's something else. She started out playing up top for us all year, and she still plays forward for us some. Because we had Angel out, or Angel was playing in the goal, or whatever we needed to do, and we had just moved Amaya up last year, right at spring break, about the time we got the break. And I don't know, she can tell you probably exactly how many games she played, but it wasn't a whole lot. And we were really looking forward to her as a freshman, what was going to happen. And then, of course, the COVID hit, and so She got cut short on her freshman year, but she came in this year. We put her up top. She plays defender for a club team, and but she just did so many things for us and created things for us up top that we felt like that's where we needed to play her. But now she's moved herself back to the back because she said, Coach, I'll do what I need to. And, you know, Cadence did the same thing. Cadence has been hurt. She's been injured all year with little nagging injuries, and she's pretty much back to herself now. But, you know, she even did the same thing. These two ladies, thing I like about them the most is both of them had told me during this year, Coach, I'll play anywhere you want me to play, and I'll do whatever you need me to do, whatever's best for the team. And neither one of them want to play in the back, but since they've been in the back, they can see the results, and we really appreciate it. We got, I think we're 7-0-1 or something, maybe in the last 8 games, and all of them are shutouts. And so Liv's loving it too because she's got Cadence or Amalia back there with us to go with the other 3. And we've always played 3 in the back, have been since I've been here. I think 18 years we played 3-5-2, but this year we changed it up a little. We got 4 in the back, and as we get 6A, some of the stronger teams, that's what you're going to have. But these ladies will play anywhere I ask them to play, and great attitude. Always got a smile on their face. No telling what they're going to say or do at practice, but you know they've been a joy to be around as well as the other girls.
Well, okay? First off, that smile must be misleading to your opponents, because if you want to play defense as rough as it gets in women's soccer back there, that smile must be a bait and switch on them. You know, hey, I'm going to smile at you, but now I'm going to just knock you around a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Do you like the aggressiveness of playing the defensive side of mine?
Yes, I really do. I really love playing it, like the aggressiveness and like this like stopping like balls. It's just like it's really fun being back there and getting to be aggressive and getting to like just go hard on like my opponents and everything. It's just really fun. It's like totally different from like being forward. Yeah.
Okay. And Cadence, one of the things that both of y'all can do is if y'all are back playing defense, can y'all not push the tempo of the play sometimes, pushing that ball forward with the skills that you have?
Yes, sir. It's actually probably easier than whenever I'm in the midfield, because whenever you're back there, it's like you can see the whole field, and you know you can talk to your teammates and like tell them where they're at in the space that they have, and you just really feel more control whenever you're back there. I mean, it might not be as fun sometimes, but it definitely you feel more in control back there and see the whole field.
Well, Coach, you've got 2 young ladies with us now, like you said earlier. Amaya's just a sophomore, Cadence a junior. But you've got 5 seniors on this team. Talk about what you've seen in the leadership from your senior group, who went from pretty much they got to play up until, like you said, spring break, but then their junior year's gone, and now they're seniors. They're the leaders on the team. Talk about that senior group and how good it is to see these girls, these young girls, falling in line and maybe picking up the mantle of where maybe something was left off.
Right. And you know, we're fortunate that 2 of our seniors played all 4 years for us. Angel Garfias and Bella Curiel were both with us as freshmen. And just to see them grow and seeing pictures from them when they were a freshman till now, and what they've done for us, they kind of changed some positions. They played different places for us. Angel's another one that's played in the back some during the year. I mean, she was our backup goalkeeper basically, and she had to play when Liv was out. So she's been tremendous for us in that she can play multiple positions, and she's maybe one of the best ones at each one of those positions. And so we got to play her where we think we need to. Bella, she's solid. Her touch, her skill level, the ability to touch, her ability with the ball is pretty phenomenal. And then the other 3, one of them is Victoria, and Victoria Falcon is one of the center backs that plays with Amaya. And she's an outside back that got converted to a center back, and we were playing 3 backs, and it was something really unusual for her to play. Cadence, you're a big picture right here in the middle. I don't know what that is, but Amaya went back there, or Cadence went back there and played with Victoria, and it was really great because Victoria was not real comfortable with the position, and just the leadership from Cadence and Amaya to be able to help her and take some of that pressure off of her. I think is really what's created our defense to get so much better, just because we have some people that have played there before or have played a lot of soccer. And so Victoria is that other center back that she's been solid for us. She was great outside back. And this year she kind of got pushed to the inside just due to the fact that we had some injuries and some people that graduated. And then the other two, Josie Flores and Trinity, they both got accepted here recently to go to college where they wanted to. Trinity's going to go to A&M. And Josie, she got accepted to North Texas, which I'm a big alum for North Texas, so I was glad to see that. But they're solid. They're great practice players. They get opportunities to play. When we put them in the game, we play them either in the back or up top. They've been able to play anywhere we've put them. Great attitude, great kids to have on the bench, to motivate everybody and to push them. And when they get the chance to play, they play. So this group of seniors is really, it's not very big. It's just a group of 5, but great kids. I mean, you know, I look at them and I think, you know, what are we going to do? How are we going to replace those 5 next year like we do every year? And hopefully people like Amaya and Cadence can step into those spots and kind of fill those in. But, you know, we're playing for them now. We had to talk today. It was great. We had Coach Tollison came in. I asked him if he could come in and talk, and he jumped on it he was like, absolutely. And I think he got the girls fired up today. I was like, it was a little early before we play on Friday. So now they're saying, can he come back on Friday and give us another speech before we leave? But basically what he was saying, he was talking about, you know, their window for those seniors is very small, and it's fixed to close shut for some of them. And us underclassmen, we want to kind of play for them. We want to give them everything we got. And like Coach Tolley said today, hey, if, you know, Cadence, when she plays as a senior next year, she's going to want those underclassmen to play for her so she can play as long as she can. And so they've got a great rapport with these young ladies. And I think that the seniors, you know, they kind of baby everyone. They're kind of like mama hens to all of them and kind of takes care of all of them. And they got a great relationship. So we're going to really miss those, but I don't really want to talk about that right now because we got some more soccer to play.
You got a lot more soccer to play. And Cadence, let's talk about this real quick, okay? The last 8 games you win. You got a tie against Duncan, okay? But that's 8 shutouts in a row. The team of that defensive effort.
We're really proud. Honestly, I think doing better in defense than doing better in not just like better than offense is just big for not just soccer, but our team in general, because I know that we struggled with finding our back line and our strong back line. And so for us to get that together and really, really build that back line and to get it like that and to have those shutouts, it's really big for us.
Well, my coach talked about, you know, how you've got kind of a senior leader back there on the defensive side. How good is it to know that you can go out there and give it your all and know that that person's going to have your back the way that she does?
It feels really good, especially when, as Victoria, she is a senior, so it just feels really good because she has that experience playing in high school. So it just feels good. Like if I can always count on her just to back me up if anything ever like goes down, or like I can always count on her to get to make the really good balls. And it just me and her chemistry, we actually are really good. We work really good together, so that makes it like even better. But yeah, I just love playing with her, and it's just really fun, really good.
Cadence. So Amaya, real quick, okay? One of the things I always like finding out about now, Angel Garfias told me it was not her that gets everybody fired up on the bus. So who gets everybody fired up on that? I know Coach Tolley gave y'all a great speech today, but who gets everybody fired up on that bus going to the games and gets everybody having a lot of fun on the way back home?
Angel actually does kind of get everybody pumped up on the bus. Also Bella and Sam Hernandez, she gets everyone fired up and just makes it fun. The bus rides are it's just really fun being on the bus just with all of them. And Angel she really does get us fired up too, especially when we get off the bus too though. So
well, and also, you know, how much, you know, times being what they are, how great is that time that y'all get to spend together to bond on those bus rides?
It's super great. Like I know last year since COVID, we couldn't really at the end of our season we couldn't bond as much on the bus like we could this year because all our stuff got canceled. But now it's really helpful for all of us to bond since we get to sit with each other, and of course we still need to have our mask on, but it still doesn't stop us from like talking to each other and like getting to know each other better, especially when we're on our way to Waco, since those are like the long trips. So it just really helps us even more to talk to each other and just get to know each other better.
It makes me feel older now when someone says like the Waco's the long trip.
Yes.
But hey, Coach Venable, what's it going to take for one of these girls to maybe get like a dancing video on the bus or one of these TikToks all of them are doing?
There's probably some in existence already. I just haven't seen them yet. They're still after me for TikTok, but that ain't going to happen. It's a little bit different with girls. We talked about it the other day. The bus rides when we were growing up was be quiet and think about the game. And on girls, it's nearly impossible. You can ask them to, hey, can you hold it down? But it's something. But the good thing about the bus trips is feeding them on the way back and then trying to get them to go to sleep so the bus gets quiet because it's just nonstop talking, laughing, whatever the case may be. But we have a good time with it, and the girls have a good time with it.
Well, we got to remember one thing, though, okay? We do have Coach on tape saying that he would do a TikTok before the end of the season. Okay, so if y'all need that, y'all just let me know. Okay, we'll rerun that tape.
But Coach, I'm glad to know that I've got a 2-year-old little girl at home, and so now I know that it's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
You don't know and hopefully go to sleep.
My wife asks me all the time, I did the boys and girls together in Waxahachie for 10 years.
Yep.
And me and Austin were doing it. And when I decided to go over and downsize a little bit and go to one team, I chose the girls. My wife still says, why in the world did you choose the girls? But, because I have 2 boys, and she's like, what do you know about girls? Well, I always grew up with girls, but it's an experience every day. You never know what's going to happen in pregame, on the bus ride, whatever. But they keep me, I think they keep me young.
I imagine they do, Coach. I got 3 daughters, so trust me, they keep you young.
Right.
Let's talk to Cadence real quick.
Yeah, Cadence, if you're back in with us, I know you were making a point, but we'll kind of restate the question just so we can get this in.
Yeah.
And I'll try to remember how I worded it before. But first year high school soccer here at Waxahachie, been playing clubs since you were 5. Give us the differences and then kind of your experience here at Waxahachie playing for Coach Venable. What's it been like?
It's really nice because it's a really different environment. Like whenever you're playing on and off the field, to be able to just go and know you just like, obviously it's very competitive and you want to win, but just know I could step on the field and have fun and to learn not just about soccer, but in life in general from Coach Ben has been really big, and to be able to make new friends and new bonds with this chemistry that is so big on and off the field with these girls has just been amazing and a really, really fun experience to have.
Awesome. Well, Amaya, I want to come down to you. Y'all do have a playoff game this Friday.
Yeah.
But as a sophomore, that smile's infectious. So I want to hear if you had to give a speech to the town of Waxahachie, to Ellis County, to say, hey, you guys need to come watch us because we're about to kick booty. What would that sound like?
I feel like if I were to give a speech, I would just be like, really loud, like, come out and just like support us, because we may not be like the most popular sport, but it's a really fun game to watch, and especially since it's our first playoff game since last year, it will be a fun game, and it will just be and when we win, it would just be really great for everybody to be out there just supporting us and feeling that great energy coming all towards us, and it's just be so vibrant and so like loud and everything.
Nice.
Very nice. Well, Coach, one of the great things is that walk through your tunnel before the games. I love that. Okay. Just talk about how that just alone right there symbolizes your program of everybody coming together. There's no one spotlight on anybody. You make it about the team.
Well, we try to, we try, everybody's got a place. And, we kind of started out, our motto was our team, and seniors came up with that because this was their team. It was their last year, and we had some key players that had been playing for 4 years. And this year I kind of switched it halfway through the season, and I just kind of added the pieces of the puzzle because honestly, each one of these girls are a piece of that puzzle, and they're super valuable for us. If we need to put Cadence in the back, we'll put her in the back. If Maya needs to play up top, we'll put her up top. If we got a girl quarantined for 2 weeks, the next man up type mentality. And it's really pretty cool because the girls, for me, they're like, Coach, whatever we need to do. I don't think I've had one girl say, Coach, no, I don't really want to do that. It's kind of like whatever we need to do to win or for the team, what's best for the team, I'll do it. And these two ladies are great. And, I talked about, Bella's moved from midfield to the outside to the wing. Angel's played everywhere on the field. We've got a freshman, Emily Jones, that's playing with us, and she's played every position but goalie, and she was Angel's backup goalie in that game because she said, I'll do whatever. And she was excited to maybe get to play there. And, it's just great to have girls like that that'll play anywhere. Trinity, when we talked about Trinity a little bit earlier, she's a defender. She's a center back. But we figured out our back line, like Cadence said. And so when Trinity plays now, she's been playing forward. And so she's like, Coach, whatever, I just want to get on the field and play. And it's just really, as a coach, I've been on the other side where everybody was kind of selfish. And, man, this group is like, whatever we need to do, we're going to do it. And it's so much more fun coaching a group like this. And this has been really exciting. I know last time we was here, we weren't sure we were going to get in the playoffs. I was real scared to even say anything about it. And, this group right here, I really think has potential to win a few games and make a little run here, especially with the shutouts and with everybody getting well. So we just got to keep everybody well and keep that nasty bug away from us. But, the first of the season, one of the things we keep talking about is the defense. We've tried everybody in the back pretty much this year. And it's come down to a point where, we found 4 that can play in the back, and maybe that's not where they want to play, but they're all in. Amaya, she's whatever you need me to do, I'm going to do it. And I keep trying to put her forward every once in a while if I get an opportunity just to kind of whet her appetite and hope she gets to play. Maybe she can get her a goal. The other night we were going to, and then unfortunately we had a little altercation that cut our game short in that last one. But it's really fun and getting the opportunity to have girls in the back that can play up front. We got girls that can play anywhere on the field, and that's probably the best part. We can put Cadence anywhere on the field. We can put Amaya anywhere on the field. We can put Angel anywhere on the field. So it makes my job so much easier.
Well, I mean, it's pretty amazing when you got a back line putting Cadence back on defense with 26 goals, 16 assists, 68 points on the season. I mean, right. That's not bad for a defenseman, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Well, Coach, I know you mentioned Friday's playoff game. Do you have a time, location, so we can get it out there and get people to come out and promote so we can fill those stands?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to play Bryan High School on Friday night at 8:00. We wanted the 6:00. We kind of lost that deal. So there will be a 6:00 game before our game, but we'll play an 8:00 game against Bryan High School. They finished second in District 12 behind Belton, and a pretty solid group. We've been watching video and trying to prepare for them. The tickets will be sold at the gate, which is always a problem all year long, trying to figure out how to get your tickets. And still you have to get it some people are standing at the gate trying to get online to do it. And so they're going to be sold at the gate there. And there is a live stream from what I understand. I'm not sure if that's going to hold up, but Midway, I don't know if they want to film somebody that's not their kids, but we're sure hoping they will. So, because it is a pretty good drive. But no, we're number 3 playing number 2. And I think it's going to be a really good matchup. I think we got a great opportunity. I tell the girls, whoever gets off the bus depends on how we play. And if the good team shows up, we get that Mansfield team show up, then we're going to be in great shape.
Yeah.
And so that's what the goal is, try to get to that point.
Well, awesome. And that is at Waco Midway? Neutral
It
site?
is at Waco Midway. We played there a couple of weeks ago in one of our district games. They have two fields. They have a grass field. A natural grass field is really nice, but they also have their turf field. And if you know anything about their stadium, ours was pretty much based off of Midway Stadium. The stands, the track, everything. If you're standing on the 50-yard line in Midway, it looks like Waxahachie Stadium. So to me, I feel like it's home field advantage for us, kind of.
There we go. Nice.
But we'll be the home team, and we'll be playing at Midway on their turf field, which is where it plays.
Well, ladies and Coach Venable, we appreciate y'all coming on and spending some time with us. I know y'all are busy, and so it does mean a lot to us. We want to wish y'all the best of luck. Congratulations again, Coach Venable, on 500 wins throughout your career. But more importantly, congratulations, ladies, making the playoffs. Go down to Midway, beat Bryan. We'll be rooting you guys on, and hopefully we can get y'all on again. Maybe talking about
round 3,
a state championship, and maybe before they will get around
we'll come to round 3 first. Okay.
And so
I like that. Katie, y'all hear that?
Yep, I heard it.
I don't know what kind of incentive that gives you, but we will have you back on. You get there. So
I can holler pretty loud. That's all I can say.
Okay, we win this first one. Maybe come back to the Metroplex. That'll be nice.
Oh yeah.
So we appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all again, and hope y'all have a good evening. Best of luck Friday night.
Yep.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all.
In Ellis County, there's only one place to go. Go City Pizza and Burgers. But don't worry, they got you also covered on ice cream as well. All kinds of flavors made in-house, just specially for you. And toppings to boot, as many as you like. So count your blessings for Doe City Pizza and Burgers and those big old scoops the size of Texas. Made just the way you want. So head on down to Doe City where the service and food are both delicious. Doe City Pizza and Burgers located in Red Oak, Texas, right across from the high school. Come on down and try.
We see the future in her. And as she grows, bonds are bigger. Lessons are learned. We plan for her future with those we trust. So when the day comes and she's ready to soar, she'll do it knowing there's always someone there. Pinnacle Bank, not just a bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
Welcome in Waxahachie men's track. We've got Coach Lozano. We've got Sebastian. Is it Calderon?
Yes, sir.
Nice. And then we've got Gregory Clerkey joining us. We appreciate you guys taking time out of your evenings to talk to us. We really do appreciate it. So, Coach Lozano, we'll start with you. You're a man that has to wear many hats coaching a track team. You're going to float from event to event, but a big part of that too, and when we talk with Coach Scott on the women's side, is the assistants, the people helping you out. How key is it not only for yourself, but to have that team that you can trust when you need to spend a little time here, that you've got the people in place that can delegate and take over some of those spots, maybe that you're drawing some attention away from?
Sure. So I lean very heavily on my assistant, Coach Carlin, and Coach Gilbreth. Both of them help me out quite a bit because just like Coach Scott said, I kind of have to bounce around everywhere. I've got, relay guys that I focus on, and then I got high jump guys that I focus on. Coach Gilbreth really helps me out with the high jump when I can't be over there helping out those guys. And then Coach Carlin, man, he helps me with, the long jump, the triple jump, and then he also does our hurdlers. So you definitely have to have, great coaches in place to be able to lean on them, as well as our kids. Our kids have been great. They understand now, in this third year of me being the head coach, they understand, like, once we get a hold or a grasp of, hey, this is the way each and every meet goes. This is the order of the events. This is how I get set up for this race or that race or this field event. Our kids really, really grasp it and do a good job of going out there and taking ownership of what they need to do.
Well, and Sebastian, how do these coaches help you out? You being a distance guy, they're a little bit different than what Greg's going to have, right? You're going to be able to actually break that person down when you're running distance. How do they set you up that mindset to break somebody running next to you?
I've just been taught to always be strong in my races, and they implement that with their coaching a lot. So that helps out a lot while I'm racing.
And guys, let me say one more thing. I'm sorry. I left off Coach Dela Cruz because now that you went back to Sebastian, I'm sorry. Coach Dela Cruz, another guy that I lean on heavily because I leave him with the distance guys. I totally trust him, and he gets it done. As you talk to Sebastian, you'll understand that. They take complete ownership of the distance, and he does a great job with those guys as well.
And he's a cross-country coach as well, correct?
Yes,
correct.
Sir.
Yes.
Well, Sebastian, you stood talking before. You run the 2 mile, you run the 1 mile, the 800. You got multiple events where you're running, good gosh, 4, 8 laps around the track, 2 laps. If you start with one, do you feel like, and I can be completely off, I didn't get to run track, mainly because I'm slow. But when you're running, is it, if you start with one, do you feel like by the end that you're not at your best, or are you just conditioned enough that it doesn't matter, you can do either one in all orders and you're good to go?
We have a lot of high mileage in our training, so it helps out a lot with strength in order to do all those events. So I feel like I'm able to do all the events pretty much the same.
Very nice. Well, Gregory, let's talk to you real quick, because while you're more of a speed guy, you're probably running about the same distance with all the events that you cover that Sebastian does in his. Let's talk about that endurance to run all those events, especially with the concentration you have to have in those baton exchanges.
Yeah, I have like great endurance because I train a lot. Coaches train me really well, and they just train me to push myself every day and get stronger. That's why I like I like the 400 meter a lot because even though I have speed, it takes strength and a strong mindset to run it the way that I do.
Well, that's one thing right there. I mean, just talk more a little bit about that strong mindset. You know, most people don't think about that when you're talking about, you know, track and field.
Like how you run the 400 meter, that last stretch, every person thinks like, oh, I'm tired, I'm just slow down, da 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 da. But you have to be able to think through your mind that you need to push yourself and keep going. I know it hurts, but you have to have that strong mentality to like push yourself and don't slow down.
Well, Coach Lozano, talk about, you know, when you're practicing and getting ready for these events. I imagine, you know, like with any sport, they'll break it down and do individual drills. I imagine track and field the same way, but you're teaching these kids not only to be physically in shape, but they have to be mentally in shape as well, because a lot of what they do is grueling on your body. You got to be prepared for it. When you're going through a practice, it's not just running the event over and over and over again, right? There's a lot of little things and little drills that go into these events, ranging from the hurdles to the relays, even to the long distance stuff, correct?
Correct. And, you know, my main thing that I get that we talk about in practice is really simple. And you're going to be like, no way, y'all, that's what y'all just say. We say, just run fast. If you're not going to get any faster if you don't run fast. And so there's no holding back. There's no, well, let me turn it on here or turn it on there. And Greg can attest to it. That's all we tell them is, guys, there's no way for you to get faster if you're not training fast. And so the way our mindset is, don't burn the steak. I stole that from somebody else, but I truly believe in, don't go out there and burn these guys out. We're truly working on speed each and every day. And so I make sure that we don't overtrain them, and that when we are training, we're pushing ourselves to our max velocity, giving them plenty of rest, and then pushing ourselves again. So that's kind of our philosophy.
Very good. Well, Sebastian, you know, let's go back to a little bit more distance type deal and about the team. Okay. I know that a lot of the distance runners also run cross country. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But there's that little pocket of people. But on a track team, you've got like the distance guys, you got the short distance guys, you've got the jumpers. Okay. Then you got basically four groups with the throwers, you know, but y'all seem to have come together as a complete team this year. Can you talk about what's made that possible?
I think something that plays a big part is people doing different events, I guess. So there's distance guys mixing in with the sprinters, and sprinters also mixing in with the distance guys and the field events guys. So I think that helps out a lot.
Awesome.
And guys, with that, I want to say with like Sebastian and honestly Greg as well, but you know, an example of how good of a team guy, and the reason I chose Sebastian is, like, Sebastian runs, just like he told y'all, you know, the mile, the 2 mile, the 800, and then he also at some of these track meets so far, he's also run the mile relay. And for guys that know, when you run the mile and then you have to run the mile relay just right afterwards, like, that is tough. That is really, really tough on somebody's body. And he's been willing to do that because, you know, if he feels, he says, if it helps the team, coach, I'm willing to do it. If we can get in, you know, go to regional or, you know, area, then regionals or state, like, I'll do whatever I can to help our team. And so that's what kind of a team guy that Sebastian is.
Well, Gregory, you know, I want to jump off what Coach just said. You know, being a leader out there, you know, I mean, y'all do work on exchanges over and over again. It's almost like mesh drills with the football team. You know, you might run that 1,000 times. You know, I mean, they give y'all about 2 hours at every meet to work on exchanges. Just talk about leading that group and the guys that you have, and the trust that you have, that everybody's going to get their job done in those relays?
Leading them, I enjoy leading them a lot because I know sometimes we may like joke around or whatever, but I know I can trust them to get the job done. Like every time that we have a 4-on-1 exchange or a 4x2 or 4x4, I know they're gonna have a good exchange and not worry about the person that's next to them in the next lane in running or getting a handoff or getting out before they do. They can trust their marks and trust that they're gonna hand the baton off correctly.
Is that not, Gregory, is that not something that gets overlooked a little bit in track? The amount of trust that you have to have, not only in your coaches, but your teammates as well?
Yes, I think it is, because every time, like, say if someone's running a 4-on-1 and you can like see them at the corner of your eye, they get out early, and that makes you want to like get out early. But once you get out early, your handoffs like get messed up, and that can like just slow the time down.
Well, Coach Lozano, I want to ask you as the coach, and you're looking at these athletes, and kind of you know what their mental aspect is. A lot of big part of track is personal records, and then you're trying to win as a team. Can you see a difference, or is it something that the kids, is it good for them to want to push to beat that PR, or is it more in the mindset of that will come, we want to win?
I think there's honestly a little bit of you've got to have a mindset of a little bit of both, if that makes sense. Because, if you're too focused, I feel like just on the PR itself, then you kind of lose focus in that sometimes you may not be having that PR day, but you still might be at that track meet that have the possibility to possibly win your event. But if you're so focused on just that PR, I think it can kind of mess your mind up a little bit. So, like I said, I think that there's a fine line between doing both. And I think for the most part, I just try to talk to these guys about pushing themselves and just saying, hey, control what I can control, which is my end result. Kind of don't worry about everything else that's going on, in the meet at that time or the event. Go out there and just do your best, do you, and then everything else will play itself out.
Well, and Sebastian, I'm going to give you a chance real quick. Just talk about Coach and, what he's meant to you and the coaching staff has meant to you as far as not only your growth as an athlete, but your growth as an individual as well.
So this is my first year in Hatchie. I was in Red Oak last year. And I think my mentality has changed a lot as a runner. I've become a lot stronger, and I've been willing to like push more, I guess, and that translates also to school, into life, I would say. Helps out a lot.
Awesome. Gregory, what about you?
The coaches have pushed me more because I realize me and Coach Zana, we've had our ups and downs. We have our discussions, but every year goes by, he's been coaching me. He's been telling me just push through it and have a good mentality, because I know he believes in me and he knows that I can be successful.
Well, is it not great to have a coach that holds you accountable and pushes you to try to let you see what your best is that they see in you?
Yes, sir. He can push me a lot, and I know he can trust me to know that I can run hard for him, and he does a lot for me.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Because Zana, I want to ask you. It seems like, I know Texas has been football forever, and it seems like nowadays, I don't know if it's concussions or whatnot, but those numbers are dwindling a little. But all these other sports, and I don't know if it's the social media, the spotlight, but soccer's growing, track's growing, basketball's growing. It's all growing. Have you seen that, especially with Waxahachie jumping up to 6A? Have you seen growth in the track field? And then what does it take for these kids, even down to the junior high level or younger, to get them interested in track and field, that it's not just hey, you don't have anything to do in the spring, come join the track team?
Yeah, I have seen it growing. I've been doing this now 15 years, and I've definitely seen it growing since I first started. And I think a big factor is that with track, people are seeing how the mental part of it, as well as just the physical part of it, how it really translates and helps and benefits you in any other sport that you can play if guys are multiple sport athletes, and how it transfers and helps you out and benefits you in those other sports, as well as, like I said, the mental part of it. Man, that's going to help you on down the line in life itself. I think, again, going back to what I said in one of the previous answers was like, don't burn the stake. My thing is, don't burn these kids out on running, because, like Greg and Sebastian and some of these other guys, like they're just naturals in terms of, they really, really love track and field. And so for me, what I try to do as a head coach is I try to make it as fun and as relaxed as possible, because I don't want to burn guys out on coming out and running, 400s or 300s, repeat after repeat after repeat. I want to help them understand, like, we go out and we do our times and stuff like that, like they see themselves improving. And I think when they see those little improvements, that's what pushes them in order to want to come back out and want to push themselves harder. And I think as they get in the younger, 7th grade, 8th grade, that's what I've talked to some of these middle school coaches about, that are down at some of our middle schools right now. I say, hey, don't burn these kids out. Let's keep them hungry to want to continue to come back out and get better at these events, at these track, at these field events and things like that. Make it fun for them, make them hungry.
Well, Gregory, real quick, and I want to dismiss the fact that you're a triple jumper as well. So just talk about everything that goes into that triple jump real quick.
Everything that goes in there is like, make sure my mark is okay, make sure I have my phases right from the first phase to the last phase, and make sure to just extend and jump high, because this is my first official year like doing triple jump, and I've jumped 43.9, I want to say. So that's pretty good for like my first time, and I just got to keep pushing and keep jumping far and keep progressing.
Now, do you sing I Believe I Can Fly when you're going through there? Well,
I'll
Coach,
try to do that next time.
Okay. Well, Coach, real quick, if you wouldn't mind wrapping up this last weekend's meet for us. I know you had the 4x100, came in second on the varsity level. Believe that was correct. If I'm not mistaken, tell me.
Sir.
But y'all seem like y'all were having a really good meet there. And just tell us about how the team finished.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we finished strong. We had like you said there, we had a chance. We were really close in the 4x1. One of our exchanges wasn't quite exactly like we wanted it to be, but even with that exchange, we were still really close to winning that race. And the thing is what I always try to do is stay positive with the guys and let them know, like, and that I give big credit to the kids as well. They stay positive with each other, like, hey, if we just fix this little exchange, we know that one of our times can be one of the best in the district. And then we won the 4x2 this week, and so we're slowly kind of putting things together on each one of these relays. And then Sebastian has been killing the distance each and every week. Our field events have been really strong. This past week, our field events in the long and the triple weren't quite as good as they have been in the past, but it's one of those things that, again, each one of our kids has the mindset right now, like, they don't get down on themselves. They don't get down on each other. They're like, I'll get it next time. Like Greg this week, he didn't have his best week jumping long or triple. But one thing that he talked to Coach Carlin about was like, Coach, I know I'll get it. It just wasn't my day today, and then same thing in the high jump. We had a couple of guys that didn't get their PRs or pass what they have done, but Calvin Simpson, one of our high jumpers, went out and he won the high jump. So, we had a pretty good meet. It's just a matter of hopefully, we get one more meet this week coming up in Mesquite. We get one more under our belts, and then we'll have a week to get prepared for district. And we're looking forward to everything to be clicking by that district meet.
Well, I know we both believe y'all are going to have a great district meet, but I can't wait to see. Hopefully y'all got some folks down there at the Texas Relays, and we don't hear no clap down there. Okay. Well, we want to thank y'all for joining us tonight. And y'all keep doing what you're doing and keep getting that thing going over there at the Waxahachie track. We're here with the Pinnacle Power Player of the Week, and it's Hattie Ann McCutcheon. How are you doing tonight, Hattie?
Good.
How much do you love to play sports?
I like to play sports a lot.
Okay, and we got some film of you playing basketball. Do you like basketball?
Yes.
What's the thing that you like about playing basketball the most?
It's that we get to work together as a team.
That's
So-
pretty awesome. Well, what are some of the things that you enjoy about your team?
That we all were like helping each other when we needed to like pass the ball to each other. We were always opened, or when each of us shot a goal, we gave each other a high five and stuff like that.
That's awesome. And what's your team's name, Hattie?
The Tar Heels.
The Tar Heels. And where do y'all play?
We play at Clift.
Clift? Okay. Well, folks, enjoy the video of Hattie playing some basketball with her team, the Tar Heels. And Hattie, congratulations on being the Pinnacle Power Player of the Week.
Thank you.
We see the future in her. And as she grows, bonds are bigger. Lessons are learned. We plan for her future with those we trust. So when the day comes and she's ready to soar, she'll do it knowing there's always someone there. Pinnacle Bank, not just a bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
All right, we are welcoming in the Life Waxahachie Mustangs baseball team. We got Coach Robinson, we got Jeremiah Fultz, and we got Ethan Starks here with us. We appreciate y'all taking time out of your evenings to jump on here and talk. I know y'all got better things to do, but we really do appreciate it. And so, Coach Robinson, we'll start with you. I know that the season record-wise isn't quite where you want to be, but you're seeing some great things out of the team. Before we get to the play on the field, regardless of what the record is, does it feel good to be playing baseball in the spring again?
It absolutely does. You know, this time last year we were shutting down and didn't know if we were going to get to play again. So just being out there and being with the guys and building those relationships has just been really good. I'm really enjoying it. Just feels good to be back out there.
Now, guys, I've got to ask, and did either one of y'all play summer ball last year?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
So I guess, were you a fan of the taped X's on all the dugouts? Because I know when we had some teams, all these high school kids are having to try to sit like 6 foot apart, and we're talking about in a 35-foot dugout, you're trying to squeeze 14 kids 6 foot apart. I don't think it worked very well. I don't know about you guys.
Nah, we just got up on the bars and just talked a lot and it was loud and everything. We didn't really sit down much. But yeah.
What about you, Jeremiah?
I wasn't like really a big fan of it, of all the social distancing and all this. It was just too different for me.
Gotcha. Well, Coach Robinson, y'all are back, and you
Yes.
just had You had a big game against Maybank. You've played some tough teams on the year, and that's why when I brought up the record, I believe it's 4-7-1 right now, and y'all are getting into district. But talk about the playing these really tough teams early, getting in these tournaments early in the year, scheduling these tough teams, setting your guys up that even though it might not be win-loss where you want to be, by the time you get to district, you have played those teams that should prepare you as you get towards the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. That's my philosophy when we go into making the schedule and picking tournaments to go to is, want to challenge these guys, especially with the group I have this year. I've got a very senior heavy team. I've told them many times, I want the early part of the season to prepare you to make district a little bit easier. So we're not surprised when we get to district and we see some big time arms and some good ball clubs. That is it's not a shock to us. It's something we've seen before. We played, I know Grandview's ranked really high in 3A and they got a solid ball club over there. And, both games, you look at the score, it looks a little bit out of hand, but, both games were right there for most of the ball game. We do a couple little things different, we'll be right in those ball games. And then, went out Tuesday and played Canton. I believe they're ranked 6th in the state in 4A. And, we saw their number 1 and we got to compete against them. And Ethan pitched that ball game and threw really well for us. And once again, I believe it was a pretty big call that even the umpires said he missed. That kind of gave them a couple runs to kind of give them a little bit of breathing room. But I said we're just trying to prepare them for the district run, and we got some good teams in district coming up that we want to be prepared for. So that's why we go play the 5, 6A schools, and even the smaller schools we play are all really highly ranked and really good ball clubs.
Well, Jeremiah, coming from getting up on that hill every once in a while, throwing a little bit, how has this season been a little bit different from you getting your arms stretched out? Do you feel like, you're have been a little bit off and finally getting into the groove?
I feel like I've been doing pretty good in my couple of little starts or outings I've had. It hasn't been too bad, and it hasn't really been too bad for me, honestly.
You think summer ball probably helped that out a little bit too?
Yes, it took a little bit off of my arm, and I could get a little bit more rest. So that was good for me.
Good deal.
Well, Ethan, Coach mentioned you picked that game against Canton, but then you also told us you split time between the outfield and the infield. So you're a man of many talents. But talk about as a baseball player, and I can speak as a guy who played. I was an infielder, and that's what I did. But as a guy who played at a high level, the outfield, the infield, you get on the mound and pitch. Those are all areas that you have to spend time and dedicate if you want to be good at those positions. Talk about, one, not only the practice and the preparation that goes in, but mentally separating each of those spots so that you can play them at a high, efficient level.
Mainly, for me, keeping my body to where it needs to be, because obviously playing a lot of those positions isn't really easy. It takes a lot out of you. Like when I pitched against Canton, I got a lot of pitches in and then went to go play the outfield. But honestly, my arm was pretty good. So I think conditioning before season and conditioning in season helps a lot as far as successful on the field. And, just keeping your body right, because my arm doesn't hurt that much, knock on wood, but I feel like I'm pretty healthy. So I think that's what helps a lot. And competing, playing all those positions, you got to compete. It's not easy,
Well, Jeremiah, as a guy who pitches 2 and then plays short, I mean, you guys are moving around all the time. And a lot of people may not know that if you go out and you throw 80 to 100 pitches, you are worn out. And then if you're asked to go into the field, talk about, and then vice versa, you've played shortstop all game and then you're asked to come to the mound. Talk about, like Ethan kind of touched on the conditioning, but the mental strength of, it may be the bottom of the 7th. I may be worn out, but I'm still going to compete at the highest level.
Yeah, for my warm-up, I try to make sure I get pretty loose. I stretch pretty good, and I don't like to start off throwing fast or anything. I kind of like to, I guess, lob it a little bit into and I don't really throw hard until I get start working back in. So I feel like that has helped me a lot through the past 2 seasons with not having any arm injuries. So that's been a big help for like whenever they do me like in the seventh inning and all that stuff. So yeah.
Well, Coach, real quick, let's talk about the philosophy of what you want out of your program. Are y'all going to be doing a little bit more small ball once district comes around? I mean, you got some power on the team. What's going to be the philosophy there? I don't know it's going to change inning to inning and situation to situation, but the overall philosophy, is it just put it in play and make them put some pressure on them?
Yeah, we're trying to put offensively. We're trying to put pressure on them in all things we do. We bunt a lot. We do some hit and run. Do a lot of slashing. One big change we made this year is when we bunt. We're not giving people out. We want to get our bunt where we want to get it, so that they have to make a good play to get us out. Put pressure on them and get some extra bases, and just looking to put a lot of pressure on the defense. We worked hard on cutting down our strikeouts this year. That's been something that kind of plagued us in the past, of having a whole lot of strikeouts. So we spend a lot of time working on 2-strike approach, working on battling, competing at the plate, making the pitcher throw a ton of pitches, get that pitch count up, so we may be getting our bullpens. Really just want to put pressure on it and try to have guys on base when their lineup rolls around, get back that top of the lineup to Starks and Fultzy there, and so they can do some damage and do what they do.
Well, Coach, that's kind of a reoccurring thing we've heard from a few coaches. So, I mean, is it coming back in that cycle where push bunts and slashing are becoming the norm more so now?
Yeah, you're seeing it a lot. We've seen multiple teams put some slashes on. It's hard as a coach. It's hard to basically change my philosophy of what I've done for the last 15 years, as far as just had guys up there and we're going to hit and try to score runs that way. But yeah, definitely in high school baseball, especially at this level, it is. If you can't bunt, if you can't field a bunt, you're going to struggle to win ball games. If you can't handle the pressure that other teams put on you as well. So we bunt every single day in practice. That's how we start practicing in our warm-up routine. We have a bunting station, working on getting bunts down where we want to. We suicide squeeze a couple times, and we're trying to do a lot of things just to find ways to score runs. All throughout the lineup. We got some speed in our lineup, so pretty sure our guys, we get the bunts where we want to. It's a pretty good chance we're going to get on base. And third baseman's rushing to make a throw, we might end up with the guy on third base. We're trying to push the envelope a little bit and get guys moving around the bases, taking 90 feet when we get the opportunity to.
Awesome. Well, Jeremiah, I want to ask you mental approach at the plate. I remember being 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. Everybody loves to whack it as far as they can, but the good guys can have a plan. And let's take out getting up there and being asked to bunt, being asked to hit and run. When you approach, does the oppo approach, is that something that you guys work on? Is that something that you go up there and you're looking for and then kind of react on anything in? Or what's your mental approach when you go up on a plate when you're free to swing? What's your mental approach?
For me, it's mainly just trying to wait on the ball and let it get deeper let it get deep. And I want to go to the opposite side of the field. And in practice, I work on it a lot. I love going to the right side of the field. My goal is to pretty much hit over the second baseman and stay in that little range. So that's pretty much, I try to bring what I do in practice to the field on game day. So yeah.
Well, and Ethan, basically same question to you. Okay, what's your approach at the plate, and what's making you successful?
Where I see the most success is so I pick a target on the field before I get up to bat. I'll aim at the first base dugout, and that mainly keeps me close. But sometimes when I don't go out there with a plan, I'll be pulling the ball and stuff. So when I pick a target, mainly it's the first base dugout, and that's where I see the most success. And yeah, it helps me out a lot.
Well, Coach Robinson, on the hitting aspect of it, and I know as a coach, every coach says, "Hey man, look to go the other way. Look to go the other way." It's a lot easier said than done. Ethan talks about picking out a target. How hard is it as a coach when you're dealing with young men and you're trying to get them to understand that, hey, the other way does not mean you're weak, or hey, I know everybody wants to beat a home run, but you will see more success doing this. How hard is it to punch that through? But then once these guys see success, it kind of, the light bulb goes off and then it clicks.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we get when we get in there and take BP, our field's a little small, and the wind blows out quite a bit. So you see a lot of guys get up there and try to lift one up in the air and watch it go. And we tell them over and over again, that's not impressive to us. You know, what's impressive to us, you can hit a ball to the middle of the field and hit it out. Hit a line drive to the middle of the field. So that, you know, that's our focus when we're trying to hit. And what we teach all the time is staying in the middle of the field. Jeremiah, he's probably the best I've seen at hitting the ball the other way. You know, BP all day long. That's what he lives doing, that in BP, and it translates into the game. You know, Ethan's a little bit different type of hitter. You know, we try to keep him from trying to pull the ball, but he's a pretty strong kid. So he all you got to do is get out in front just a little bit. He's going to hit the ball a long way. So, you know, we preach staying in the middle of the field, hit the ball hard in the middle of the field, and go from there.
Well, Jeremiah, real quick, I want to take you, you know, one of the best things about high school sports is those bus rides, you know. So are y'all all business on the way there, and then somebody's getting the speaker out after a win and just jamming the bus out?
No, we try to keep it very business-like. Maybe like the first couple of minutes, like we're kind of talking, but then maybe halfway there, it gets real quiet and it gets real serious.
Well, what about after those big wins? Who's getting everybody fired up on that bus?
Definitely not me. I'm more to myself, but probably our sophomores. They're probably joking around and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I was going to say, Ethan, so the sophomores are joking around and stuff. Who's had to take charge after a loss? I can just see the underclassmen talking and some upperclassmen turning around and just being like, hey, Coach Rott, you ain't going to like it if you keep doing that.
Yeah, I feel like we've gotten better at it. Sometimes, when we were younger, we'd be like really loud. And then after a few talking to us, we, you know, kind of kept it down after a while.
I can imagine how those talking tos went. We're not going to ask to go into detail. But Ethan, again, kind of touching on you and your versatility, I want to know, what do you like doing the most? What comes the most natural to you, infield, outfield, or on the bump?
I'd probably say outfield. I'm confident in all positions, but I feel like in outfield you can make the biggest plays. I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable in all, but I like the outfield more. Maybe it's like I can show off the arm a little bit more, but yeah.
There it is. I was going to say, with that hair, you got to have all the confidence in the world.
Yeah.
Throw him the racing stripe.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you got to have confidence for that. Well, Coach, you know, you talked about having a heavy senior class. Talk about what this senior class is meaning to your program and to you personally.
Oh, it's a great group. You know, not just these two guys that are on here, but looking at the board, I got 6 or 7 seniors that have been with me for 4 years now. I've been through a lot. You know, there was, as sophomores, you know, we got to go to the playoffs and do some things, and just being there and watching them grow up as men, you know, watching them develop through some rough times early on. Ethan mentioned it a little bit, but they were a little rowdy when they were younger. But watching them grow up and be men and become the leaders that they've become is probably the most rewarding part of it. So I'm definitely going to miss these guys when they're gone. But it's just, you know, the guys got some guys on the team that don't get to play a lot. But, you know, they're there supporting, and they're the biggest cheerleaders on the bench. You know, they're up there when things are going great. They're leading it. It's great to see, and they're such a close-knit group. They've been together for so long that it's really nice to see them grow up. And most of them have been playing at the varsity level. I mean, these two guys have been playing since they were freshmen at the varsity level. And then we sprinkled a couple more in as sophomores, and then a couple more as juniors. And, you know, so they've got a ton of varsity experience. And we're going to, as we get in the district, we're going to see what they've been working hard for these 4 years. And just where they've taken this program, because I'm just here. It's their program, and they're going to take it to places it's never been, and it's exciting to be a part of.
Well, I've got to say that you talking about this close knit group, and it's a real testament. We listen to these guys speak, but while that year in time was there, they had to grow up fast from sophomores to seniors because they didn't get to play their junior year.
Yeah.
And so it's a real testament to hear these guys speak, and then the product that y'all are putting out on the field. So we commend you guys. And we look forward. Will you give us a rundown, Coach, of the next few games and maybe the next couple of home games so we can get this out there, get some people to pack those stands for you guys?
Yeah, we're supposed to play Mahia tomorrow afternoon. We don't have lights at our field, so we're supposed to play them tomorrow 4:30 or 4 o'clock, weather permitting. And then we open up district Friday against Venus at 4:30. And then we got a Saturday game against Maybank at home at 2:30. And then I think we go on the road, go to Hillsboro next Tuesday. Got a pretty special event coming up Friday. We had one of our former players, he graduated last year, was killed in a car wreck a couple months ago.
Wow.
So we're going to take Friday night and have a little ceremony after the game. His mom's coming down from Illinois, and we're going to take some time to celebrate him and what he meant to us, and just reflect on his life a little bit, and let the guys show their appreciation for him and their family. But yeah, that's what we've got next week right there.
Well, Jeremiah, I don't want to go off without asking you this, which is, what has baseball meant to you? And, are there opportunities that baseball is going to put out there for you in your life?
For me, it's more so been a way to prove myself, because I'm undersized, as you probably know, and baseball has been a way for me to just show that short people can do big things as well, and we can cause havoc. So that's pretty much what it's meant for me.
I love that answer.
Yes.
I love that answer. As a former small guy myself, well,
He's still small.
I'm still small. What am I talking about?
He's still small. As long as he sits next to me, he's small. Well, and Ethan, my understanding is you've committed to Northern Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what went into your decision in making that choice?
Well, when I went up there, I don't know, the camp was really nice. I really like the coaches. They were really nice, really cool. And also, I still take lessons with this guy at Red Oak, but one of his lessons are also starting center field up there. And I talked to him about it, and he's had a lot of success up there, and he's producing a lot, and he's still there, and he vouches for the program. So I trust his opinion, and I trust what they do up there. And that's really made me decide that I wanted to go up there.
Well, Coach, isn't it great when you have kids that are these kind of people on and off the field that are showing these young kids that come up and watch games, and being that mentor to them and showing them, hey, these are the possibilities of what baseball can do with your life. Just talk about how these young men really step up and are, that role model for a lot of youth around the area.
Yeah, I mean, just speaking about the team, specifically, we preach to our younger kids all the time. As far as, sometimes in practice, just watch the older kids, watch our senior group, watch this senior group, how they do things, how they get loose, how they're in the batting practice group, how they're taking extra reps off to the side, getting their timing down. So they've been. They've made my year pretty easy so far. I just basically say, hey, watch these older guys do it, and they'll show you how to do it. But all these guys, these seniors, they volunteer a lot, doing a lot of different things, and they're all really good students in the classroom. I haven't had any issues in the classroom with any of them. So just trying to pass that on to the younger kids, that this is how you grow up, and this is what it should look like when you become a senior. And when you're getting, these guys are close to being adults. They're about to leave home and do some things. And I think this group's ready for that. I think they've prepared, and they've put in a lot of work both on the field and off the field to prepare themselves for life beyond high school and be good adults and to be so.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, guys, we appreciate you coming on. I know it means a lot to us. Hopefully, we can get some more attention, some light on Life Waxahachie, because like a lot of schools around this county, baseball's big, softball's big, and there's really talented individuals around this county. And we've got two of them sitting right here with us. So thank you so much for spending some time with us. We wish y'all the best of luck this week. I know Friday night, again, best of luck, and that reaches out to something that's bigger than baseball. And so our respects go to y'all, but best of luck. Hopefully we can get y'all on again towards the end of the season, talking about a playoff berth and breaking it down with y'all. So thanks, Coach Robinson. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, Ethan. Wish y'all the best of luck.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined tonight with Corbin Green of Midlothian basketball and baseball. Don't want to forget that part of his life as well. And Corbin, you've had a couple of decisions to make here recently with your continuing your athletic career.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, let's start off with what your choices were. And there's something on your head here. So I'm going to take it that we kind of know where we're going here. But you had an offer to play baseball as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
Where was that at?
Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Arizona.
Very cool. And you also had the new offer of playing basketball at?
Air Force.
Okay. Well, what made you make your decision the way that you did?
I was just thinking about my life, my future, and my career. So I just felt like this was a better move for my career, going because I've always wanted to serve in the military also.
Very nice. Just talk about, the decision process with you and your family.
Me and my mom she set a goal out just to pray, and then we're going to fast for a week just to look for an answer. And that's what we did. And I think we found the answer. Going to Air Force.
Well, what's one of the big things that excites you about playing for Air Force?
Probably just the benefits of just being in the military.
Very cool. Well, Corbin, we're going to wish you the best, and congratulations on signing your national letter of intent to the Air Force Academy and serving our country as well.
Thank you.